A pitchfork, if you only had a pitchfork. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. This is The Plan, which is my weekly show that talks about all the various shenanigans occurring on the holotables. Now, you'll notice a lot of people actually messaged me and asked, where is the plan? Why aren't you talking about this raid? I want to know what your thoughts are, which is all very flattering. Thank you for the curiosity. But the truth of it is, guys, first off, I wanted to take a little bit of time just to, soak in what was going on, because there were a lot of angry opinions, and we'll talk about a lot of this stuff, guys. We really will. This is the whole focus of this video. The other equally important thing, guys, is I've been so behind in sleep that, frankly, I just passed out. I needed to sleep. I got, you don't know what a miracle it is that I got 2 days in a row with 8 hours-ish of sleep. I don't think it was quite that many hours, but it was close enough. I needed a break. It's not burnout, it's just I'm wiped out. I'm super tired. So, a couple days. I apologize for the break in your daily content, but let's get back into it, shall we, folks? Let's get on into it, by which I mean, let's thank the patrons, guys. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for being awesome and supporting me. I really appreciate it. Even if you called me an idiot for predicting that this was going to happen, and I still forgive you. No, actually, I kind of don't. If you called me an idiot, knock it off. That's annoying. But I don't think any of you did, actually. Thank you guys so much. And I just want to say thank you, everyone, for supporting this channel. The way you can do it for free is to just hit that like button, subscribe, comment, help me mount the algorithm, guys. Get the good word out there. Let's do a takeover of the algorithm. I don't know. The new raid rewards have not mounted the algorithm. You don't want to be like them, guys. You don't want to be like, oh my gosh, that guy, he's basically the same as the new raid rewards. You don't want someone to say that about you. No one wants that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So, this sounds like the most entitled thing ever. After I read it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is candidate for the most annoying thing. Maybe this slide, but otherwise, doing something, doing a lot of work for something you used to get for free. I mean, that does sound like the most entitled thing. Just, you're like, oh my gosh, my parents used to provide all these food and things, and now I have to pay for them now that I'm an adult? What the hell? I don't mean it like that. I mean, how frustrating is it, folks, when you used to, you have a job and you don't get a raise, but the economy continues to tank a little bit, and you have less, essentially you're getting paid less, even though the number is the same. It doesn't stretch as far. You have to work harder to get the same exact thing. And the reason I ask that, prices increase on things, it's frustrating. I dislike it. And, it's just the state of things. There's no use shouting at the wind. But it is just wearing on you. And that's kind of what happened with this raid, guys. So there is a break-even point. People are complaining about this, and I'm not unsympathetic to this. We're just gonna start from this beginning and work our way through. All right, we'll progress our way through, and so the 130 million box is, your guild collectively has to do 130 million damage, and that essentially, through all the wizardry of math, combines to give you, because you're getting it twice a week, you get about the same as what you used to get, which includes the Challenge Rancor and the Sith Raid, and all the things, the Tank Raid, the Rancor Raid, all those things, you get all of them, basically. And that the 130 million box is what it is, is the break-even point. Once you get to the next box, which is, over 100 million more, which is a very challenging goal for most guilds, you can get to you know, 234 million, and you get substantially more, like really, really great rewards, you know, like double what you were before, kind of. Or at least of the really good rewards. Now, the question, of course, is how many guilds got the 130 box? Because, you know, if people are breaking even, it's like, well, I mean, that's not great. You kind of want to get more, right? You're going to want to get more, but at the end of the day, fine. Fine. 130... it looks like 63 got them so far, and there'll be more. There'll be more guilds that get to that line, but the 130 mil line is where you break even. Where I won't say that you shouldn't complain, because like I said before, I was getting all that stuff for free. Like, I didn't even hit raids. You just sign up for them and then leave them alone. And now I'll probably be spending an hour or two every week extra just to get the same rewards that I was getting. Like, not my favorite thing. Frankly, it is not my favorite thing. And only 3,000 people are getting this anyways. I mean, even if you double it, 6,000 is not that many. We'll talk about that in just a minute here. So yeah, 3,100. They're breaking even, or maybe doing better. Not everyone got the 130 box, surely. The funny thing is, guys, no one actually got the 234 box. Not yet, anyways. I mean, that'll happen eventually. But in the first raid, we have 4 guilds that got the 265 box, which is it's even substantially better. I didn't post the rewards here because you guys would be too angry, I think. You'd probably just die of anger, or you'll turn to the dark side at least. We don't want that. I mean, you might want that. You might already have turned to the dark side. If you have, it's not too late for you. Get help. No, just kidding. It is too late. Here's the thing. Only 4 guilds actually got the 234 box or higher. That'll improve as well. My guild will get that eventually. There are a lot of guilds who are capable of getting there. We didn't know the raid mechanics. We're disorganized. We don't know the stuff. There will be a lot of guilds that'll get to the 130. There'll be a lot of guilds that get to the 264 or 234, whatever it is, eventually. But at the end of the day, 3,000 guilds, 3,000 people are doing okay, and about 400,000 people play this game. That might be an optimistic appraisal, but I mean, it's like 380 million, something like that. Like 380,000 people play this game. So one way or another, it's like 1% of people are doing okay. And even if you double that for eventually, like maybe double the guilds are gonna get the 130 bucks, like it's still not that many. I mean, 1% of the game are getting the rewards that they used to get, that they have to spend more time to get. Like, for instance, my 400 million alt guild, you guys know I've started to play Prevail Man again, which is, it's been fun. And this really nice, awesome guild that have way bigger rosters than mine are, you know, they let me into their guild, and now, like, so the box below it is the 94 million box, and you can see we're doing the Sith raid now, and I don't blame them. That's totally reasonable. We didn't even get the 94 million box, and even if we did, it's worse than doing the Sith raid. In fact, like, substantially worse. And sorry you guys can't see all the compares. I mean, sorry that they're not big enough, which is what he said, I think. Unfortunately, disappointing everyone. But it's also disappointing, actually, on the Sith raid, the numbers, the Mark 1 and Mark 2 are transposed from what they are in the crate boxes. You can see it goes Mark 2, then 1 in the Sith raid, and then Mark 1 and then Mark 2 for the currencies, you know. Whatever, that's a small thing, which is what she said. And the thing is, the 130 million crate is where you start earning the Mark III, which the Mark III is fairly important. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, really, guys, the only reasonable conclusion that I've been able to come up with is that everyone's an idiot. Obvious, like, clearly, I've been saying that everyone should be working on Jabba for months. He is the most important farm, I've said, for, 5 months at least. I've been screaming at the top of my lungs, if you watched my channel, I've said it. Honestly, I don't blame people. Not everyone is a moron. I mean, I think you should have been working on Jabba, frankly. It's not me being judgy. I do think that everyone should be working on Jabba, at least within reason. He's very important for tons of reasons. People saying, like, he's now the most important farm in the game. I'm like, he's been the most important farm for 5 months, guys. He just has been. And if you haven't gotten Jabba yet, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to say, like, I told you so. No, I am going to say that. I totally did say that. But, I mean, yeah, maybe you should work on it. But even if not, I don't think these numbers are that reasonable anyways, frankly. I don't think it's the community's fault that suddenly we don't have enough Jabbas, and I don't think that Jabba just solves this problem anyways. This is a crazy amount of work just to break even compared to what we had last time. We're not even advancing our rosters. Like, I keep saying we're gonna get Relic 9 or Relic 10. I'm gonna shut up now. I was wrong about that. I was right about Jabba, wrong about predicting Relic 10. So, like, we're not progressing our rosters at all. We're just breaking even, basically. Almost everyone. There's a vanishing number of people who aren't breaking even, and those people don't need rewards. They don't need them. The 200 people who least need rewards in this game are these people here. The 1, 2, 3, and 4. They don't need rewards. They don't need those awesome, amazing, really cool rewards. I mean, I don't begrudge them that, but out of all the people in the game, they're the people who need them least. I'll just say that. Now, I did think it was funny. I put out a video. You know, this is a plan. Like 10 plans ago, I was skeptical about our rewards, and someone was like, if you are finding ways to complain about this road ahead, then you are a miserable human being. That's cool, man. I'm still miserable, by the way. So, here's really the crux of things, folks. The picture of everything. So we used to get 7 of these arrow magnifiers every challenge Rancor raid, and this is not exaggerating. Every guild toward the end was getting this consistently. So we'd get 7 of these every time, and even guilds that couldn't finish the challenge Rancor, I don't know if it was a bug or if it was intentional by CG, but every guild that could start it, and the members who could actually, like, get in and do a little damage or make a little love, whatever, you know, send Rose in to get eaten. Not what do you think? Or at least not what it sounded like out of context. But the Rancor raid would give everyone, even if your guild couldn't finish it. Even if your guild couldn't finish it, you'd still get those rewards. And that was consistent for several months before this raid. And so everyone was getting this. Top 40 people got 7 of these arrow magnifiers every single time you ran Challenge Rancor. And now you're not getting those because Challenge Rancor is gone. You're just getting these tokens. And the only way you get these tokens, the Mark III currency, is if you do the 130 million box, which we just covered. Almost no one is. A vanishingly small number of people are getting this, therefore taking a huge step back from getting Relic 8. Like, people were already not engaging in Relic 8, so it's just crazy that they're just like, hey, by the way, nobody gets this anymore. Like, screw you, everyone. You know, and CG's just, you know. So, of course, we're all mad at CG. We're all mad at CG. They want to make us angry, right? Like, this guy offers a reasonable suggestion. He's like, hey, why don't we just give players, like, the same or better rewards than they used to get? And he gets thrown out the window in CG headquarters. We've all seen this meme, of course, but, you know, people are angry. And honestly, the rich are getting richer right now, and I don't blame you for your anger. That this is absolutely a step back. It feels bad. Just because my guild is, like, breaking even, we're getting 130 box on that and my middle alt. Like, it doesn't bring me joy that I have to work hard to get something that I was already getting. I mean, it's kind of nice to be able to choose your own gear and stuff. Like, in that way, it's a step forward, but for almost everyone, this is a huge step back. This is a huge step back, and I don't blame you. Like, I don't know if it's time for pitchforks, but I don't blame you. The thing is, I think CG wants us to like the raid. The obvious enthusiasm that we heard from Crumb and the other developer, the guy who has the laptop, Kaylee, like the guy who designed it and was doing like the live stream with Crumb, that their enthusiasm for it was honestly, like, it was really cool. Like, they want people to be playing this raid. They don't want only a 3,000. They don't want just 1%. They didn't make this raid for 1% of the player base. I think that's crazy. Like, honestly, I don't think that's sustainable. You make content for 1% of the people. Like, the amount of man hours that's required for this, and then the people who are already like super rich, like, they already have enough big rosters that they don't have to spend more. They're already good. They're like, hey, yeah, we're getting crazy rewards already. We don't have to spend more to get ready for this raid. Like, whatever. Maybe people spend a lot to get Relic 8 on things, but the thing is, they gave us this make good, and I know that this isn't about the raid specifically, but, you know, like, the whole weekend was kind of a fiasco, on and off again. I mean, a lot of it was EA, frankly. Their servers were a mess, and so they gave us a make good, like, right away, which I think is a good sign. They're like, hey, we're sorry, guys. Our bad. Here's some Clone Wars Chewie stuff. Like, I think that went over well with the player base for the most part. Everyone I talked to was like, yeah, that was cool, and they got it to us really quickly. So, you know, appreciated. Cool. We got the little make good. We're all good. Here's the other piece though, guys. So this comes from an FAQ they did for the territory battle a while ago, and a lot of people were asking, will CG make it easier to acquire Relic level 8 and 9? Lots of people asked, and they basically said, well, we'll progressively give you more access to Relic 8 and 9 stuff. Which, I mean, it's like, okay, I mean, that's kind of their plan anyways in general, like, make old stuff more accessible, present new stuff to us, and, you know, we haven't gotten Relic 10, who knows if we ever will, but one way or another, like, Relic 8 is already not accessible to most players. I don't know if Relic 9 rarely enters any conversation that isn't full of big spenders. Like, I have 16 Relic 9s, and that is more than, like, almost everyone. Except for the people I face, who all have, like, 52. But, you know, that's my problem. I'm just crazy. So, I don't think that their intent is to give us progressively more, like, not take away. So before we do anything else, guys, you know, I do want to just acknowledge there's a lot of other things to dislike about the raid as well. All right, I get that. I get that there are a lot of things that we shouldn't like. That, you know, that aren't, like, the shop UA to buy all of the stuff is a huge mess. Like, there's like 4 different currencies floating around, and you don't know where to find anything. It's awful. Overpriced bronzium. It's frankly insulting how much they're charging for the bronzium wiring for relic materials. Horrible. The officer UI could be better, because it would be nice to be able to see what teams people used, or at least what the individual scores that people are getting, to help troubleshoot what your guild is having issues with. And then, of course, you know, vomit, trauma. There's, you know, the crate dragons just vomiting all over everyone. The goblins in Harry Potter are super racist. Like, there's a lot to dislike about it that we're not even really touching on here, guys. But still, at the end of the day, I suggest patience. I know that sounds ludicrous. They're screwing us, right? We should get a pitchfork out and hate CG. And you can feel, excuse me, you can feel free to hate them if you want. That is your prerogative. And honestly, I don't blame you for your anger. Like I said before, it's kind of justified. CG have kind of earned that. However, I think that their track record in the past has been mostly like, well, they want us to progress slowly, and it's frustrating because they give us bottlenecks like the bronzium wiring They give us these stupid bottlenecks, and it's frustrating. It really is. However, they almost never take steps back like this on purpose. I mean, I suggest that they just overlooked this, and that's not great. That doesn't build confidence in them, of course. Like, that's their fault. I think that they didn't see this as a problem. They just don't have enough eyes on it. They don't have the beta testing program anymore. They don't have, their quality control has sucked for a long time now. And it's up to them to fix that. That's on them. It's not like I'm not giving them a pass. At the same time, I don't think that their intent is to screw the player base, and I think that they're going to make things right. That would be my guess, at least in terms of the arrow magnifier discrepancy. And honestly, once they see how many guilds are doing the Sith raid now instead of their new shiny awesome raid, which is actually pretty fun if you have the right teams. Like, the attacks don't take a long time. It's well constructed. I feel like the mechanics are well done, and every team has a little bit different strategy. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff about the raid itself, really. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing. Once they see how many people are just not engaging, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna release a new one every like 6 to 9 months. Once they see that, like, why did we even bother? Everyone's just playing the same old raid anyways. I think they're going to change something, guys. I don't know what it is, and I'm not guaranteeing it. I still think that they're going to. Would it have been great if they had gotten it right the first time? Yes, we would have all been so happy. I think that this is pretty BS, and I think that I won't discount the possibility that someone in CG was trying to pull a fast one on the community. I just don't know. I've always found the people who are like the in-game economists, like the people who have to measure everything by, oh man, we're letting players have too much stuff, like that's going to, we're giving them so much stuff that they're not going to spend money. Like, those guys have always been annoying to me, watching their comments in the FAQs back in the past. Just like, even if they're doing their job, I'm still just like, man, stop telling me what I'm not allowed to have. Like, it's just irritating. But I wouldn't be too surprised if someone was trying something like that. But at the end of the day, I do think CG is going to fix this for most people. Whether or not we're satisfied with what they do is another question. So I think patience is probably in order. We're still on a weekend. Like, they haven't had time to react to anything yet. They gotta fix some stuff. I think we should be patient, is what I think, guys. Just wait and see. I hope that they don't continue to along this path. If they do, this game probably just crumbles and dies, or something equally awful, frankly. Like, I don't... It's scary how bad this is, guys. This is the worst step back I've seen, frankly. Like, to the point where I'm like, it can't possibly be intentional. I just don't see how it could be. I know you guys love to hate CG. Some of you are going to be like, I think you're naive, Zareth. And I'll be like, maybe. But for the most part, CG's treated the player base pretty forthrightly in terms of progression. Even if it takes forever to progress, they've never done something like this. Not in my memory. Not in the 6 years I've played. I also, guys, if you intend to keep playing this game, which I think, we all love, if you're watching a video on this, you're probably not just going to quit immediately. I know some people actually watch these after they've quit, which is amazing, and I appreciate all of you who do that. Right now, as of right now, you can still, and I think it'll continue through the weekend, I don't think they'll turn this off. You can buy their Omicron and get a discount. You just spend for the Boosh Omicron, and you immediately, this is a screenshot I got from one of my accounts. It looks like from my main account, maybe. I did it for my alt account. I'm actually considering it for my Prevail Man account as well, even though I have a level 1 Boosh right now. The Omicron at 10 is amazing, and you're going to be using the heck out of it if you intend to use this raid. 10 Omicrons is a great deal for this, guys, in my opinion. Now, I want to give one less positive thing, because I don't know, I prefer being positive, frankly, despite the heavy heart that I have about this whole thing. And gosh, I've talked about it forever. I do think that one of my favorite things about this fix, it's something that's not going to relate to many of you. Like, a long time ago, they released these prestigious quests. You don't get anything for them, hardly. Look, like the reward, 1 Omega, so like a pittance of credits, and then 25 crystals. Not really worth it, but you can see I was stopped behind the territory battle requirement. It was like, hey, you have to finish Rogue One, finish a Rogue One mission in Hoth territory battle. And now, after this update, it's gone. It is gone. Which, of course, fixes everything. Raid included. No. But, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Keep it respectful. You can, I mean, if you hate the stuff that's happening, I want to hear it. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I just, keep in mind, it might not be time for pitchforks yet. Eventually, sure. There's a lot of pressure on CG right now. I hope that they can actually fix something. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. And I hope that you do too. I hope we all do. And I hope that they make the new rewards, even in the 130 box, significantly better. Take care, guys.